So I just finished teaching. Right now it's about 4:40. My last class ended at 4:30, and my grade 5s and 6s. So I also had my grade 2s today, and they managed to get. I made these little tickets, so they got the blue pass. So basically, I tried to remember the best I could how the Ferris Friday ticket things were. So it was basically, I think it was, I'm not sure, but it was every Friday or something. If you had them, you could put them into a box in the office, and basically if your name got pulled, you would get a prize. And then if they get 5, they get to see me sing or dance. So today, grade 2s got 5, and I've already had to dance once in front of the grade 4s, and it was not exactly the best experience, or it was not good overall because I pretty much don't know how to dance. So I asked Arthur for some help on some easy dance songs, but overall it didn't exactly help out much. So I'm just gonna overall, that didn't help much. So it was a gong show. The grade 3s and 4s just sat there not knowing what to do. Kind of similar today for the grade 2s. When I started singing, they kind of had like a blank stare reaction, as in they didn't exactly know what to do. Yeah. And apparently there's no school tomorrow, so I'm just confirming with my yeah, I got some mustache right here. There is apparently no school tomorrow. I'm confirming with my mentor teacher right now through the phone. So I'm just waiting for a message back to see if there's actually classes. But if there's not, I might go to Gwangju just for some sightseeing and some shopping. Because apparently there's the National Museum, or National Science Museum, which sounds like interesting. But if not, then I'll just stay at home and lesson plan, because my grade 5s and 6s weren't exactly interested in the newest one, in the latest numbers one. Honestly, teaching numbers is a bit boring for me, or for them, because I mean, it's English. They don't seem to really want to learn English, or they find it very boring unless there's actually games. So teaching them how to write and say it and read is kind of hard, I guess. Or maybe I'm just not going the right approach, because yeah, I just have some music right now. Turn it down. Yeah, because right now my approach is I move off one set of numbers every class, such as 1 to 10 was one class, 11 to 20 was another class. So I think, but then the thing is, if I do 2 classes in a row with the same number, they get bored. But then they still get bored either way of new numbers. Because then, right now it's just whether I can speed through it without them getting bored completely and move on to a new topic. But then if I speed through it too much, they won't exactly learn too much. So that's a problem I just discovered. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be annoying. But right now, it's just waiting for the bus, so yeah. So just go to here for now. So, as you can see from my hair, I also took a shower because I can do all this stuff. So my hair's actually getting pretty long now, but I like my hair longer than it is short, so I'm probably not gonna get a haircut for maybe a while. Yeah, I might actually just trim this side just so I don't like, because apparently when I was a kid, when I sweat, it would cause infections around the ear. It would just cause irritation, so I'm probably gonna have to cut it then. But other than that, I like my hair long. Yeah. So today I think I would just. Usually I don't plan on. I don't want to talk about like different topics, but today I'm gonna have to talk about failure and moving on from failure, because today most importantly was just that I would regard it as a failure because my grade 5s and 6s, they basically didn't pay attention at all in class, and yeah, and basically I felt I taught nothing. Yeah, to be honest, I felt like they didn't learn a single thing. I couldn't teach them a single thing, and so yeah, I just want to share to whoever watches this about how to learn from my own failure, and how to learn from my own mistakes. So the key point that I've always found is just that one of them is always from the phrase "fool me once, shame on you; fool me twice, shame on me." So basically, I find that to be just like, if I make one mistake, yeah, it's more like it's equal fault, as in it's your fault as well as my fault. But then, because then, my fault is that it's my preparation was obviously not good enough. But then it's your fault because you probably could have avoided it if you had done something else. But if I make the same mistake twice, it's definitely my fault because I didn't learn from the first mistake. So, in essence, don't make the same mistake twice. The first time it's forgivable, but second time it's not. So I've always been trying to practice this and just try to work on that. Yeah, but then I really have to learn from this mistake about how to really grab their attention a lot more and just make it interactive, I guess. And definitely one of the lessons I've gradually learned from throughout these 3 months of teaching is that I have to split them up. It can't be girl versus boys. Their English level is way too far apart. Yeah, their English level is way too far apart, and also it's that the boys, when they're grouped on their own, they basically have no initiative or drive to do any of the tasks that I give them or any of the games, and all they basically want to do is go outside and play. But obviously, I can't do that every time. So yeah, that's definitely one of the things I'm going to have to reflect on. And I feel bad saying this, but then I've already actually made this mistake quite a few times in the past. But then I have improved it a bit over from my first lessons, which were, thinking back, they were horrendously boring because it was back when I could only focus on writing activities and stuff like that, because there was basically, I didn't know anything about the classroom at the time. So yeah, they were really bored then. So then I improved and introduced different activities, and now from here I have to improve further, as in I just realized that I've been solely relying on physical activity more. So I guess I have to bring it back to more academic activity, not just like writing. I have to do reading as well. Yeah. And so there's that. And then one other thing is just, let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Also have to, one thing I just remembered is, I guess I have to instruct more enforce more of the rules that I've set or make different ones because they're starting to kind of bend the boundaries around the rules. And I guess one of the main things is that as much as I don't want to, I'm kind of bending the rules for different people. Like for me, my philosophy is that, or my idea or opinion is that if you can do what I set, if you can do the task that I set for you and fulfill like what I need you to do within the time set, within my criteria, good job, and you deserve to have a bit more freedom on what you can do. But then if you can't, obviously you need some restriction and you need more help on what you can do. So obviously I'm not going to let you bend the rules more because you obviously can't follow them to begin with. So, but then the issue I'm realizing now is that different people are saying, why isn't he following the rules? Why aren't they following the rules? And the issue is that I can't explain to them in Korean. And most definitely, I don't think they would be willing to accept it because from what I've seen, some of my students, they absolutely do not like losing. So yeah, that's actually been some of the sources of my my concern because some students have almost gotten into fight because they lost the game and they've complained and stuff. Yeah. So I really have to start learning to enforce the boundaries and enforce the rules. And then one other thing is that we were warned about this in the beginning about, or I was basically warned in the beginning as well as in the past about short-term versus long-term rewards, as in giving them physical rewards over the drive and the happiness of doing the activity. So basically now it appears that I've kind of put them into the mindset that if they play games and they win, they get a prize. So I'm going to have to try and reflect off this and correct my mistake and try to correct that so that that's no longer the thought. And most definitely I have to change this or I have to correct this behavior or correct my own mistake, but make sure that they still have the drive to do the activities as well. So yeah, so I'm basically running out of time on this recording. So this is going to be the first recording I have that's actually going to be fully edited. So that means it won't just be like long time staring at my face. It's gonna have some sort of editing, as in perhaps some transitioning, editing in of footage of like different stuff like scenery of my bus ride to school and from school, as well as just some different animation effects that I found in the Filmora software that I'm using. So if you like it, tell me you like it. If you're not, give me some suggestions in the comments. So yep, I'll end it here for today.